Welcome back to another Tera Plays Tera video. Alright, welcome back to another State of Tera console where I cover all the Tera console news I can. Now before we get into today's video, I do want to take a moment and talk about a fundraiser that I'm doing. Sorry, the word escaped my mind. But I am doing a fundraiser. You can go into the description of this video and click on the Facebook link that I'll apply there. Now, this is kind of attached to my name, but not the fundraiser, but the link due to I didn't know how to set it up with my gaming Facebook, and it was just easier to use my current one. So I don't really mind putting that out there. It is what it is. Most people probably already know my name, and I'm pretty sure you can't really do much with it. Plus it, to me it's whatever. Within that though, this fundraiser is something that I hold a bit dear to my heart, and I do want to start doing this whenever they post and have people join in, or maybe make it a yearly thing. And that is a 30-hour gaming challenge to also fundraise money for military veterans in the US, and all the money that's fundraised goes to their support centers to help them with any of the, anyone in the military who's going through a rough time mentally. They're there to help with anxiety and all of this, depression that a lot of those men and women that serve the country go through, especially, veterans. It's mostly for veterans, but overall, this really hits my heart because my father was in the Army. He served most of his life, and honestly, I have so much respect for the military. They were always there for me and for my family throughout all the time he served. He did tours in Iraq, and even when he got really sick and eventually he passed away, they were still there for us. Like, they're still a family, and even I can look back, and anyone in the military knows that it is a family, and this is my way to try and help support and give back to that family. So again, feel free to click on that link. You do not have to donate. If you'd like to donate, I greatly appreciate it. Again, do not feel obligated to. What I would just ask is, if you don't, please send the link around to other people you know who may be interested in it. And even if you're not interested in donating, maybe you're interested in joining the cause itself, maybe you're someone who wants to game and support as well. You don't have to be a YouTuber, you don't have to be a streamer. All they say is just sign up, you create a page, you invite people to said page, and then basically you log your hours throughout the 1 or 2 weeks that it's running. And it's basically running throughout all of February, but it's only, I think, like the 14th or 16th to the 28th of when you actually log your gaming hours. So, within that, if you want to help support, I greatly appreciate it. If not, I totally understand either which way. But we're going to get into the Tera console stuff now. And the first thing I want to bring up is an event that's going on in Tera console that I wanted to point out for players, as this is a pretty big thing and a great time for people to play, even though the game's not in, personally I don't think it's in a great state to play. But if you are still trying to grind out your gear, enchant stuff on your main or alts, do look out for February 9th to 18th. That is a fantastical week to play. It's actually a bit longer than a week, and from what the website says for January events, even though it's in February, is from this time there's not only 1.5 dungeon drops, but there's also IOD 1.5 drops going on. So that's a great time to log on to the game. Hopefully you'll be a bit more active, and the game will have a bit of life to grind. I am going to try myself, even though I haven't been on a crazy amount, to try and play a bit that week, as that's a great time to play because it's a lot of extra drops. The next thing I want to cover again is the card system. As I was talking to a few friends, there might be an issue, and it's something that I've said in the guide. It's something I said when the in-game patch note when I released that video. It's just that the cards, when you run a dungeon, it feels like the last boss typically drops a card box. I don't know if it's meant to be a guaranteed drop. It seems like sometimes it doesn't always drop. Now, in that video, in both of those videos, and the guide, I thought dungeons had one box that dropped. I've actually seen 2 drop from one boss, and it was, I think, Kata normal. So there is a chance that more than one box drops. It's just very shit drop rate. The worst part is that it's not shared, and that hasn't been resolved yet. And friends and I were kind of talking and trying to think whether if we think they meant to make it a share drop and they messed up and this is a bug, or if the devs really are just that dumb. I'm gonna say the devs are probably just that dumb and don't realize. So hopefully they really do reconsider. I've already yelled at them for this because honestly, with it being such a low drop rate and with there being so many cards, it really should be higher. And if it shouldn't be a higher amount of drops, just make it a share drop. It's not going to kill the game. It'll make people enjoy playing a bit more. And personally, I hope they do reconsider that. But enough ranting about the card system. Let's get into some other stuff that's going on. So, Rampaging RK9. You can see, I'll even pull it up for you guys. You can see it's here in the dungeon leaderboards. I don't know why. Because it's done. I don't know why it says 125 to 229. You can't even enter this dungeon. I tried. I went to the teleportal. It's closed. The devs are just that dumb. They didn't remove it from this screen. I don't know why. But that's what that is. If anyone's like, what's going on with Rampaging? There's no Vanguard for it. Well, yeah, there's no Vanguard because you can't enter it. So, easy little slip up of the devs, but it just continues to show that they aren't doing their job. Ha! Alright, pet bugs. A lot of people have, when the patch first dropped, messaged me and reached out to me saying, hey, what's going on with the pets? Why are my transcendent skills not popping? What's... Alright, I don't know what was happening 2 weeks ago. I did log on, I did play a bit, and I noticed they weren't working. You were all right. I did not bring it up to the devs. I honestly don't care to talk to them right now because I'm pissed off. I don't like what they're doing. And clearly I think they don't give a fuck. So thanks, they're great, right? We all know this. It is what it is. But within that, the transcendent skills are working now. I ran an Ace Dungeon the other day. I noticed mine popped up. It has been resolved. They didn't release a notice about it, but at some point they did a maintenance that fixed it. Again, maybe in one of the bottom of the maintenance notes they said they had to resolve an issue and they fixed it. But whatever it is, pets are working as intended, for what I can tell. Do understand, if you have multiple pets, you can't just quick summon and swap around anymore. You have to summon a pet, then you have to desummon said pet, and once you desummon that pet, you cannot summon another pet for 5 seconds. So do understand they did change this, and this is to stop people from popping several Transcendence buffs back and forth. Why they couldn't just put it on a global reset, or like a, you know, put all Transcendence buffs on a, you know, timer, I don't know. I don't understand their thought process of why they think this is better. I think it's just a nuisance of a small... I think it's they created a big gash and they want to cover it with the smallest band-aid they can. Personally, there's so many other ways they could have done this, but they chose literally the way that has the least logic. So, whatever. It's Tera. What do we expect? So that's the pet stuff. The next thing I want to cover is visual bugs. In the last time I covered, I talked about the Sakura and Maple trees having a visual glitch, as well as I believe Valkyrie's Gungers had it, and Kata Skulls had it along with some attack and AQ. It seems like they did finally, after like, I don't know, 4 months, resolve all of these, which I'm glad. It shows they do care, I guess. I don't know why these were an issue in the first place. I don't know how they messed up the code or how it affected whatever, but it seems like all of this is fine now. Again, I haven't been able to really test everything. Maybe Valk's Gunner still has the, texture box. It's hard to say. Maybe it's fine on Xbox and not on PlayStations, and I have no clue. But let me know if you find any visual bugs. If you do, I'll cover it in the next State of Terra console, what's going on, and hopefully they'll fix it. We'll see. The last thing I want to cover in this video is some class issues, along with crit factor. I like to always bring up crit factor every once in a while, because it's just a dumb stat that I think the devs should just fix already. Due to crit factor, the harder content we get, if they think the solution is raising the crit resist, I hope they know that they're wrong, and it proves that they are literally the most stupid set of devs, because we have classes like Zerks, Ninjas, even Sorks that have issues. I want to say Archer too at that point. We have classes that have issues critting, and by them scaling this higher and higher, like they did with Rampaging Arcane 9, eventually there's going to come to a point where these classes are unplayable and just not enjoyable. That they could simply solve this by making crit not have a diminished return, and then slightly adjusting each class's power balance. For that, yes, people will still have to build crit. It's just you won't have classes like Ninja that have to build 550 crit and Rampaging and still don't crit. It's just stupid. So hopefully they fix that. Along with Ninjas, DZ and I were talking, and he was saying about animations having, or skills having animation locks. Hopefully they also consider doing what they did for Gunner for a lot of classes and getting rid of an animation locks and going off our pure attack speed. And Ninjas could really use this. Again, hopefully it's done. I don't know, our devs are kind of weird. The very last thing I want to cover is War Tank right now. The devs seem to not be able to make up their mind whether Poison Blade's attack speed is going to also work next to Traverse Cuts. Currently, they override. Actually, currently, Poison Blade overrides Traverse Cuts. So, ideally, you just want to use Poison Blade if you're a War Tank, and don't even worry about Traverse Cuts unless you're using it for a filler, which at this point with cooldown, you wouldn't be using it at all for the most part. Again, they can't seem to make up their mind. It feels like every patch it changes, whether it, oh, only one works, only the other one works, they both work together, they don't work, I just want them to come out and release a notice of what the fuck they're trying to do, and that would be fantastic. But that's it. That's my rant for today's session. So, within that, I will again try to do another State of Terra console when I have more information about stuff going on in the game. This is all the stuff I can find and things that I have issues with that hopefully get resolved. Please let me know in the comment section if you all find a bug you want resolved, and I will try to reach out to them for you. Personally, I am done reaching out to them for anything with me at this point, because honestly, I don't think they care anymore, and yeah, that's sad, because I thought they did, and I'm kind of tired of defending them. So, they're basically losing me at this point. I'll still play the game, I still love the game, I love the combat. I just don't care for the devs or care for their wallets or give two shits about them anymore, because they're lazy. And it shows. So, that's about that. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. I do promise, since we hit 500, I will be making the War Tank guide by this weekend. And that's it. I hope you all have a fantastic day and or night. And as always, I hope to see you in Aboria, gamers.